Welcome to Oulton Park. It's round 8 of Thundersport GB for 2017. Just 2 remaining, including this one, so the penultimate round. Championship in the Thundersport 500 freshman is wrapped up in terms of the overall champion. Adam Campion is the champion, and he moved up into the elite 500s for this weekend and did a very good job. Second place still up for grabs, and it is between Stephen Shropshall, who's pole here, number 178, and Ryan Meaden. They're the guys that are battling out for those places. Ryan Meaden is number 292. These freshmen are new to Thundersport 500 this year. Some of them still sporting the orange bibs, as you can see, and they're set off on a split grid with the super team, so you might from time to time see the odd super team machine, so try and erase that from your brain. Now, quite a few riders that are in the top 10 of the freshman championship have either moved on or are injured. Batner, or Batman as he's known as, Andrew Batner, I'm quite confused as to why he's decided at this point to move on to a 600, because he still had a chance of finishing inside the top 3 overall. He was only 40 behind Ryan Meaden, but such is life.
Who we're on board with now.
Yeah, and Ryan is looking to try and chase that man, Steve Shropshall, which looks like a bit of a tall order already at the early stages of this one. Number 93 just going through. The shot there was Stuart Orr. 124 is Lewis Booth. Through the chicane they go. Adam Campion was the standout rider in this class. Shropshall has given him a bit to think about from time to time, but if he stays where he is, he's got a very good chance of ending up things second overall this year. There's number 58. That is Matthew Postlethwaite. 53, just up ahead of him, is Simon Burgess. Or what was I calling him in the last round? Burgess.
Yeah, Burgess.
Burgess. On board now with Ryan Meaden here at Oulton Park, up towards Druid's Corner. Brilliant corner, but mighty quick. Then onto this short back straight with a kink in it that leads you downhill into Lodge Corner. And Shropshall here is really pulled out a handsome lead in the opening stages.
Matthew Postlethwaite, where's he from?
Carlisle.
Carlisle.
Which is, this will be technically his home circuit, but it's not really, is it? Now, Carlisle's
It's just a name that sort of sounds synonymous with Wallace and Gromit, doesn't it? You know, or Last of the Summer Wine, really. You know, it's a really interesting name, isn't it?
But maybe Matthew Postlethwaite is a fan of Wensleydale cheese, you never know.
Well, yeah, maybe. It's just that, well, with my carrot cruncher tones, I do struggle not to spit my teeth out every time I say that.
Postlethwaite, yeah, I suppose for you, being a broad East Anglian.
Well, I struggle with Shropshall, I want to say Shawl.
Well, I struggle with that, yeah.
Postlethwaite, you struggle with Burgess, and
it must be something in our blood, eh?
I reckon.
Yeah, the Norfolk and Suffolk twang, unfortunately, just doesn't work. But, you know, Postlethwaite is from Carlisle, which is up in Cumbria. I mean, there ain't no circuit close there, is there? For him, really. I mean, there might be, but it's not on our calendar.
No,
this will be the closest,
the
closest circuit to Postlethwaite. There he is, number 58 with the orange bib on. And it is Shropshall that leads from 53. Simon Burgess.
Not a lot left of his orange jacket, is there?
Not really, no.
Flashing in the wind there.
Ryan Meaden, number 292, just following them up, and he'll want to try and get ahead of both of these guys because he wants to try and limit the damage that this guy's doing to him in the championship. Double points on offer here as well. Ryan Meaden and number 58 there, Postlethwaite, couldn't really be further away from each other in terms of location. Postlethwaite, we've just told you, is from Carlisle. Ryan Meaden's from Sandford, down on the south coast. So they won't be greeting each other for Christmas. What are you laughing at, Sid?
I wondered what you were punching into your phone. You were looking to see where that was.
Sandford?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm pretty sure we talked about this before as well.
Oh, yeah, we have actually. I'll tell you what though, this is pretty close here, as it happens.
Meaden closing in on the 2 rookies up ahead of him. Number 53. Simon Burgess. I don't need to punch that one in the phone, he's from Lincoln. But there are from 3, well, one from the East Coast, one from the West Coast, and not that Carlisle's the west coast, but it's northwest. And one from the south coast. Race leader, as we see a nice move there from Meaden, going up into third place. Race leader Shrubsall is from St Leonard's.
Don't look round.
Towards Britain chicane we go. Behind these guys in this freshman 500 race, we've got Whittaker, Sean Whittaker, Stuart Hall, Lewis Booth and Patrick Belton. Here is your race leader, Shrubsall.
I don't actually know where St Leonard's is either. As it happens.
St Leonard's, I don't know either, Sid.
I think it's... I'm not sure.
I'd have a guess at south.
I think it's south, yeah. Ish.
Let's have a look at the map, shall we? Buckinghamshire. Oh, there's a lot actually. Tell a lie. There's loads. Shrubsall, Steve, you'll have to let us know because there are St Leonard's in Hastings, East Sussex, Edinburgh.
I don't think he Hart's from Edinburgh.
Buckinghamshire and Dorset.
Oh, right, okay.
You've spoken to him enough, Sid.
I have, yeah.
So can you let us in on anything there?
He's well spoken though, you see. He's not like...
You're going for the Buckinghamshire version,
I am, yeah, I'm going for the Buckinghamshire.
Oh, there we go. We've done our geography bit for the Thundersport 500 freshman. On board here with Ryan Meaden, who's looking to now move up into second place. Incidentally, the gap between Shrubsall and Meaden in the championship coming into this double points race was 48 points to Shrubsall's advantage. So the less damage done, the better here for Meaden, number 292. If he is able to move up to second place, of course, it will only be 10 points he'd lose to Shrubsall, but he'd have to have a mighty Donington Park and maybe hope for something to happen in race 2 as well. Shrubsall, in terms of lap times, is... Well, Meaden actually isn't that far behind in terms of absolute pace, but it's just the start that's gone a bit wrong. Breaking into hizzies then.
Trouble is, you get the wrong idea at this sort of end of the championship, because like the slower riders, as it were, who were maybe slower at the beginning of the season, you know, have come on strong over a period of time, stepped up and up and up, and you know, are as fast as kind of the leaders now, whereas, you know, before there was a difference in it. So it was probably early doors that they lost points in the championship.
Ooh, wide there on the exit from Burgess, and that's given Meaden the opportunity to move up, and he has, into second place and across the line. Burgess just a bit too wide and a bit too heavy into Lodge Corner. So easy to do.
Oh. Looks like they're having fun out there though, doesn't it?
It does. They're coming up on some of the super teams up ahead as well. Here we are on board now with Ryan Meaden going into Cascades. There's a rider just down in the gravel trap there. And now up towards Island Bend on these 500s. Past him goes Burgess again. Sounds like they're pretty much flat out going around Island Bend then. Breaking now into Shell Oils. You can already hear there just a moment ago the noise of race leader Shrubsall going through up into Britain. It's a bit of a cheeky look over there from Burgess to Meaden.
Yeah, that happened last time and he lost the place. I don't know why people want to look round there. I've got no idea. Just keep going and like keep your head down. Don't look round. How many times, Steve, have we seen riders look round and lose a place?
Oh, it's endless. Endless. I've still never been able to quite work it out. Unless you're absolutely sure that you've got maybe a 3 or 4 second lead and you're thinking, oh, well,
can I roll off?
Yeah, can I roll off? But when you've only just overtaken someone, I don't know really what you're
Is he
expecting
still
to see. Unless you've just acquired some nitrous oxide from somewhere.
Unless you
chances are they're going to be there.
Unless you're just putting your tongue out, of course.
Ryan Meaden then breaks so late in comparison to Burgess.
Didn't break at all, did he?
still hanging on in there behind them is Postlethwaite.
A watching brief.
And again, Burgess there, wide on the exit. He's got his line a bit wrong there out of Lodge Corner. He's lost another place, so Postlethwaite now up into third. Burgess going for the Batner lines here.
Could this be the new Batman?
Well, maybe it's Robin.
Yeah, Robin Bar Steward. I don't know if he is a barman, by the way.
Round Cascades we go. Well, last time Meaden had a pop at this into Island Bend. He saw Burgess coming through. Well, this time he sees Postlethwaite coming through, and Burgess as well. So the slipstream working out.
I'll just go around the outside.
You're going to be able to outbrake them down into Shell Oils. He moves back up into third. No,
it's good. We have to use a lot more on board to stick this together because obviously this is a super team race as well, and because the super teams go out before this split grid, obviously the cameras around the circuit are focused more on the super teams, but it does give you some lovely lines, like when you see into Shell Oils, which obviously from the cameras on the side of the track you only kind of see from a distance.
You can see on board there, it's rather deceiving unless you're used to it at Oulton Park, because the short circuit, the national circuit here at Oulton, that joins up just before they go on the brakes into Hizzy.
Yeah.
So you could be forgiven for thinking on your first visit here, oh, I'll tip right here, and you'd actually find yourself going the wrong direction around the national circuit. Here is Shrubsall then. He's actually just putting a lap on Patrick Burton there, one of our Royal Navy riders on the 500.
That's a brilliant venue though, and encompasses an awful lot of land, which is surrounded by a brick wall. It's kind of like many of the race circuits, it's like an old estate, like an old hall estate. Last lap then.
Ryan Meaden with it all to do, and so he'll go around the outside into Old Hall, and that worked, past Postlethwaite.
That's been a good battle, this.
It has been a good battle, and they're all, of course, wanting to get on the podium. One of them is going to miss out.
I wouldn't want to put my money on who's going to win this battle, actually.
Meaden will definitely throw the kitchen sink at it because he needs to limit the damage that Shrubsall's going to do. He'll be on the top step, and here he comes then, out of the slipstream on Simon Burgess. And around Island Bend we go. No, the door closed on him there. Will he have another crack at it? That's Shell Oils. No. Shrubsall here can pull over and watch how that one develops.
We've hardly seen him, poor old Steve. All the action's been... He's gone too quick, Steve.
He's going to gain on Ryan Meaden, but by how much? We'll find out shortly. Here we are on board with Ryan Meaden, the white bike 292. We've got a bit of traffic up ahead of them as well. They're about to put a lap, I think, on one of the 500s. So Shrubsall around Hizzies, up over Clay Hill. His nearest rival, Ryan Meaden.
Good crowd here this weekend, because as I say, I just said about it being a big venue, holds so many people. Only a one-day event, and the weather, it's not exactly sunny, is it? And when you're up in race control, you can actually see in the commentary box, you can see like how many people are actually here. There are loads of people, a few thousand.
It's good. It's easy to lose a few thousand around Oulton. Checkered flag is out for race one anyway. Steve Shrubsall has got 50 points. Now, what about this one? Ryan Meaden here. Oh, wide again, Burgess. Through Lodge Corner. He cannot get that line right at all, and it's cost him second place. Across the line we go. Checkered flag is out. Ryan Meaden picks up the second place. And Postlethwaite came through and nabbed third off Simon Burgess as well. So he lost 2 places as a result of that really bizarre line that he takes through Lodge Corner. He might have to look this one back and work out what's going wrong really for race 2. Sean Whittaker was 5th, Stuart Hoare in 6th place. There's the top 3 then. On the podium, Shrubsall, the winner from Meaden and Postlethwaite, and we'll see how it turns out in race 2 in a moment. commentary box at Oulton Park, where Sir Robin of Murphyshire and JW sometimes reside. But we're now getting ready for race 2 in the HMT Racing Thundersport 500 freshman class. Champion already crowned in this one. That was Adam Campion. Second place, well, at the moment, Steve Shrubsall 178 on pole for this one. Who won race 1, is in line for that. It was an interesting battle for second. Oh, blimey, Simon Burgess getting
skyward,
just dumping the clutch and almost flipped himself over the back there, number 53. It was a good battle between him, 58, Postlethwaite and Ryan Meaden for the podium places in race 1. Let's see what we can have here in race 2. On board with Ryan Meaden then on his RD Racing Honda. And through the avenue and into Cascades. He makes up a place already. Can they keep with Steve Shrubsall? It wasn't exactly wet in race 1, but it is completely dry now out on circuit.
In fact, the sun setteth.
Yeah, it's what are we looking at here? This race has started 20 past 5 local time, so we are getting to the end of the day.
Shadows.
Yeah, the long shadows as they now tip it into Shell
That's scary when someone's coming up behind you as well, isn't it?
Yeah. Especially some of the lines that are being taken in this class.
Well, it saves them looking round.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Shrubsall it is that leads then from Burgess, Meaden, Postlethwaite. Your top 4. Meaden really wants to try and get on terms here with Shrubsall. Will we see a better race of it? I wonder if Burgess has sorted out his line down into Lodge Corner as well. There's number 93 a bit further back, Stuart Hort. 120 is Sean Whittaker. Rookie vest on, first year of racing. Behind those, Lewis Booth. And already there, just on this opening lap, Shrubsall able to pull, 5-6 bike lengths on Burgess in second. Let's see Burgess line in a moment. Oh, we're not going to see it right now, but there is number 93.
I'll tell you what, Steve, you know, obviously putting these two together with the super team on the super team grid as a split grid, I mean, they really have not interfered with each other at all. It's been a remarkable success. The times have been so equal, and it does make you wonder, does it not, that you know, if you could get the ACU to agree, I don't think they will, but if you could get the ACU to agree, super teams to be able to ride these, you know, because they are a stock bike, if the ACU would allow that at like 13 years old, what a cheap bike this would be to learn on. And, you know, for those, because like the 125, which obviously have sunk away a little bit now and everything's full stroke, you know, they were always a cheap option to buy, and obviously these bikes are a cheap option to buy. It would just, you know, I think it would open up a lot of avenues for youngsters that can't afford.
Well, I reckon so. Why not? It worked out for Leon Haslam, didn't it? He started out on bikes like this as well. And
but he must have started late, mustn't he? He must have started at like 14 or whatever. So it's just that, mind you, you see the 125 Aprilia is still the only one you can get on at 12, isn't it? So that's a problem.
Well, with the available power, the way these bikes develop the power, I don't see a problem with starting riders out on 13 on one of these. We've seen how capable they are. This is a proper ding-dong. Shrubsall's not having it all his own way here in this one. He made a bit of a mistake earlier on, and Burgess and Meaden are giving him some issues. Up into Druids, a bit of a wide line there. He's just about ahead, and onto the back straight we go.
Lovely pictures for those who don't actually know where the circuit goes at Oulton, because it's completely different perspective from on board the bike than what you see from the cameras around the circuit.
Yeah, Oulton Park is nothing like it looks. No. That's for sure, on camera angles in general.
Well, and the rise and fall, you know, it's really hilly, isn't it?
Yeah, the undulations up and down.
Undulations, that's the word I was looking for, Steve, thank you.
No problem, I'm here all day. Hopefully not.
Well, I don't know, it's 5:30. It's time to go home soon.
Ryan Meaden it is in third here, we're right on board with. Just up ahead of him, Burgess and Steve Shrubsall. Syd's looking at me because I almost called Simon Burgess Burgess again.
Oh dear. Are you wearing loose teeth then for the dog?
If you want to start talking about dialect, I think this is the bad time, Syd.
Well, I have the power to put subtitles up for my good self, so it's not a big problem.
Burgess has definitely found some pace here.
He nearly had his elbow down there.
He's actually lapping now. In race 1, a 2:02.9 was the best for Burgess, and he is currently lapping in the 2:01s. So that's a significant improvement for him. Out of his ease and up the hill. Over Clay Hill, you can hear he's still flat out here. And then just letting off the throttle, tipping it into Druid's corner, trying to close in on the rookie up ahead of him, and he's going to get the slipstream here as well. Perfect this from Steve Shrubsall. They're side by side, braking now into Lodge corner. Burgess, well, we're going to get a good look at his lines now. He's slightly wide still through there, but it's much better. He's got his arm up there to say sorry. I don't really know why, because it was pretty clean and legit to me. It's
great though, isn't it? Look at these. I mean, these are amazing, these bikes. I'm so pleased with this class.
Goodness me. Simon Burgess is not afraid to cut the nose off anyone.
It's just the fact that, like, you've got to have Hagen shocks or the standard shock on the back, which are like got no adjustments worth talking about at all. So, you know, you don't even have to be an engineer, do you, to ride these? And, you know, if you blow your engine, oh dear me, I've got to spend 50 quid on another engine. It's like, you know, it's that kind of thing, isn't it? Just unbelievably good value. And now with the deal set with Dunlop to for the next 2 years to run the Alpha 13 SPs, and price pegged at 179 quid, including balance and fitting and VAT. It's amazing.
The whole thing amazes me when I really think about it, because I have to be honest, when Dave Stewart mentioned the fact that these were coming into Thundersport back in 2009, I laughed. Yeah. I thought, no, please, no. And to be honest, there were a few sheds. These guys don't half look after their 500s. There's some beautiful ones out there.
Definitely.
And it really has grown as a series as it gets a bit tight and twisty there. Simon Burgess with an aggressive move to take the lead, but he's lost all momentum. And he might just lose out on the lead here. Surely not an overtaking manoeuvre into Druids from Shrubsall here, no, but he might just try and get on the power. Shrubsall's well wide there.
He is wide, yeah.
And that will give a little bit of momentum here to Shrubsall as they go side by side once more, and they're breaking down into Druids. Great race this actually between these three riders, and you can see the shadow there.
Brilliant.
He won't go away, Simon Burgess. He will not go away. Lapping a lot quicker, and he's got that line nailed now into Druids, which just completely, into Lodge, which just completely changes his race. He must be having great fun.
Oh, absolutely.
Don't count Meaden out just yet from third place. He's there hovering, watching these two dust each other up out front. He would love to pick up some points from this man we're on board with, Shrubsall, on the Bexhill Gearboxes Honda, out of Cascades onto another stretch here up towards Island Bend. Let's see if we can hear if he brakes for this. I don't think he will. Well, he just lets off the throttle, but that won't be braking, that's for sure. And look who's there.
He didn't.
He didn't. Simon Burgess didn't. Into Shell Oils. A banked right-hander. You can't quite see how banked that is from on board here, but you really can scrub off a lot of speed going into the hairpin there. Then up to Britain Chicane, which quite honestly is an ugly chicane. It's not much fun to ride through. You have to be big and brave to overtake there. Great feeling as the front end goes light then over the crest, and then braking down into Hizzies, which I understand was put in for safety, but it completely ruined what was Knickerbrook. Yeah. Electrifyingly fast through there.
That was a brilliant corner.
But I can understand why it's been put in.
I'm not a big fan of chicanes at all, ever. But there you go.
And Knickerbrook used to lead you up Clay Hill here, and then the speed you used to then ultimately carry through Druids, I think is part of the reason why.
You're right.
Why the
Hizzy chicane
was put in.
Bit, yeah. Although with the fast bikes, you see, you're going at almost the same speed now because they got so much power. But like these things, another thing you got to say, I mean, like tribute to Honda when they built these things. I mean, absolutely bulletproof. I mean, most of these bikes have probably done, 100,000 miles around London, doing courier work. And just when they're ready for the great scrapyard in the sky, some oik buys it, paints it up, and screams it around Oulton Park at fast rate of knots.
This is a fabulous race, really.
And it's the last lap, look.
It's the last lap.
All to play for.
Is up there. He's not giving this one up. They'll all have big smiles on their faces.
Wide.
Well wide into
Oh,
Cascade.
God, look at that.
Simon Burgess then pounces, he's through. Has Ryan Meaden got a final say in this as well?
Anything can happen here, can it? Really? Look, see, they're much closer together than the camera shows you, really.
Meaden is praying these two just pump each other off it in third place to give him some sort of chance into the final round. At Donington are taking second overall, but Burgess, he's got his head down and the throttle wide open. Double points on offer here.
He was looking for the nose button.
He's looking for 7th gear. Steve Shrubsall then on board with him now. He's into the slipstream.
Oh.
Will he outbrake him into his? He's getting closer and closer and
brave
closer.
If he does now.
He's not going to this time, but he is going to make up a couple of tenths. So it's all going to go down to Lodge Corner. Burgess with an opportunity to win a race. I don't think Burgess has won a freshman race.
He'll be made up if he gets this.
Over the top of the hill. Meaden is still just behind Shrubsall, who we're on board with, so he could still have a say in this. Around Lodge Druid's Corner. Oh, it's close, and now we're going to the slipstream. These two are going to be side by side, whatever happens.
Oh my goodness.
It's just a matter of who wants to break the latest. A bit of weaving going on there from Shrubsall.
No, he's got a better line left.
Burgess, and it's going to work. He's got his line sorted out into the final corner. They'll race up to the checkered flag. It's going to be close, but it's not close enough. Simon Burgess wins the freshman race. Brilliant encounter, that one, from Shrubsall. And third for Ryan Meaden. And Burgess is delighted. He looks like a lottery winner. Brilliant race. I'm sure he was chuffed with that. Thumbs up as well, I should think so. They're the type of races that you live for. Burgess wins it by 800ths of a second ahead of Shrubsall. Meaden was third, Postlethwaite fourth, Sean Whittaker fifth, and Stuart Hort in sixth place. Top three on the podium. You're not going to be able to wipe the smile off the face there. Number one for Simon Burgess. So as you can see there, Adam Campion is the champion, highlighted in yellow. Steve Shrubsall, well, he's 66 points ahead of Ryan Meaden in the battle for second going into Donington. And that's where we will see you next. It's the final round of the championship. Thanks for joining us here at Oulton. We'll see you next time.